Hey guys, so I am recording a video on Tuesday night because number one, I have something to say, and number two, I am molding the idea of doing 2 videos a week. It's not that I have a great number of people right now watching these, but the idea is I'm trying to get more people and I can build my brand, as they say. I've had some good friends help me out and telling me how to produce and record these videos efficiently. So here we go. Topic for tonight: why is there so much badness in this world? And you know, there are levels of bad, right? I'm talking about bad things happening to good people. There is evil, but I do say that it's a very restricted category. Unfortunately, 1 or 2 persons who are evil can have an influence on a large group of people. Have an influence on a large group, prey upon their fears and anxieties, and a large group can do really horrific things, interestingly enough, and then sort of have no memory, sort of disengage themselves from those horrible acts, because at heart they are not evil. So the question, why is there so much evil in this world, is because you are not doing enough good. And by you, I mean we. We are not doing enough good. We can never rest on our laurels with the fantastical idea that we've done enough. We must always strive to be better. If we're not striving to be better, well, as I've often said to many people, when I stop improving, when I stop learning something every day, then just nail the coffin lid shut. I am finished. We must do good. And when we do good, it's not the idea, again, fantastical notion, that we only do good for a certain segment of the population. That we can only do good for those people that we deem are worthy of our best efforts, of goodness, of our goodness being done toward them. We even get upset when we watch other people doing good to people that we deem are not worthy of receiving good. There are a lot of people out there that we want to punish, that we want to be violent toward, physically or emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And of course, when we do that, when we are violent toward somebody spiritually, then we are violent toward ourselves. And yeah, violence emotionally, mentally, physically, then we absolutely are being violent spiritually. So by doing good, by developing our good, we are being good for the world. So we take the time to hedge against the idea that some bad guy or gal is going to come along and persuade a group to do horrific acts, as has happened throughout history. If we are constantly countering not only the bad person, but the potentiality of the bad person, then we are not only teaching ourselves to be good, we are teaching others to be good. And not just through words, but by example. So here's the thing. There is a concept called a superordinate principle, which basically is the adhesive for any society, any community, be it a group of 3, family of 40, a city of 500,000, a nation of 40 million, 200 million. The superordinate principle says that these are the principles by which we unite. These are the principles we believe in and that we strive to uphold. I make no excuses for this country's history of slavery and abuse toward anyone non-white or anyone non-white and male. If you go back even further, it's actually the country was founded, power was invested in landowning white males. But over time, this has changed. Over time, the principles that were enshrined in the Constitution and Declaration of Independence have come to the forefront and will continue to be debated and developed and understood and applied, because the underlying superordinate principle of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for everyone, that remains true. And throughout the years, throughout the decades, throughout the centuries, more and more people have been paying attention to this and developing these ideas, so that finally it applies to a greater number of us in this country. Can it apply even further? There are communities out there that are suffering, that are striving. I'm sure it can be. But we have made these large strides in this country, in this nation, because of our dedication to our superordinate principle. The principles of life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, of that all men, which really means that all people are created equal. Bet on us. Bet on certain individuals throughout history who have not realized that this applies to everybody. Bet on us. Bet on certain individuals today who do not realize this applies to everybody. We can't truthfully say, we can't legitimately say that we have to be mean to these people, we have to be violent toward these people, because either in reality or in our perception, they are being mean, violent towards someone else. That is not the superordinate principle. That is not the principle by which this country, this nation was organized. And we dismiss that, and we mess with it, and we kick it to the curb at our peril. So we go back to the original question. Why is there so much bad in this world? Because we are not doing enough good. If you think that you're doing enough good, you're not. I don't think that I'm doing enough good simply by recording this video. There's more that I can do. There's more for me to learn. There is more for me to learn and grow upon. And I put this out to you as well. The superordinate principle and the beauty of how this country is organized by our founding fathers and mothers. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, all people are created equal. What we did, and I'm collective we in the United States, what we did is we took the very essence, the very honest, basic, fundamental truth of humanity, and we enshrined it in our founding documents, into the very structure of this nation. So, to be fully American and to fully embrace that superordinate principle is to be fully human. Develop your good. Do everything you can to keep badness at bay. Worst at bay. Best not even in our sight. Of course, I'm not talking about things like natural happenstance, someone gets cancer, earthquake, tornadoes, etc., etc. But the bad that people do is not something that should just be shrugged away. The bad that people do should be answered with, well, what can I do to counterbalance that? What can I do to reduce that? What can I do to snuff it out? And more importantly, or at least as important, okay, take that back, as important. Something bad happens in this world, in this society, and we read about bad things happening every day. Then we can ask ourselves, what have we done to contribute to this madness? When I read about violence, when I read about guns and fists, when I read about snipers, when I read all this horrible invective and nonsense and justification in the news and social media and the internet, we contribute to this because we allow it to happen. We cannot say that it's perfectly fine to be good toward one person or one group and be violent and mean toward another. Last time, why is there so much bad in this world? Because you are not doing enough good. Peace. 4 fingers. There they are. Bye-bye. See you in a few days.